and they never spoke again. Well, Elia named the names and saved his career, but his reputation was forever mud. Lillian Hellman said, "Let God forgive him. That's his job." I mean, Arthur would never rat at his friends who were communists back in the Depression. And that was the genuine American hero I married. I thought we would last forever. We were America's dream couple. And then we weren't. If you could see me as I am, if you could love me like I am, I might, you know, be all you need. But you can't see me for your dream. No matter how many moving picture sets I stalled, I never kept those darling photographers waiting. But hey, maybe that's why I've lasted so long. Stills leave so much more to the imagination. She gave great still. Sounds a little dirty, doesn't it? But I know he meant it in a good way. Oh, do not ask what is behind the mask. It was the mask that first engaged your mind, and after set your heart to beat boom boom. Not what's behind this golden mask of mine. You say you would, but find what's there to find. See, you'll love it, Grandma. Shadowy figures are everywhere today. Tonight? What time is it? Well, I was always haunted, but at least now I can live with it. I don't know why I looked like the happiest girl on earth when I was such a mess inside. Maybe it's because it's all I ever wanted. Or maybe I just made this happy face one dismal day and it stuck. I guess I thought fame would make me happy. But what did I know? Oh, God, I got to be this goddess to them all. But they'll all just see this chubby chick from East LA. They're all expecting someone flawless, fully sculpted, slender goddess. But I'm not the one they really want at all. I can't believe they bought this act I just made up one lonely day. She and Art gave me confidence. Ooh, I had zero of my own. Which is why I was so hard on myself, I guess. Which made it easier for the studio hard-asses to be hard on me. And I was hard on them. Ooh, that's a whole lot of hard-ons. Time to make up with everybody. I was comfortable in my own skin for the first time in my little life in Korea. I sang diamonds are a girl's best friend. Better than I ever had, even though, or maybe because, the acoustics on a battlefield are so awful as you can imagine. I did all those hoochie moves I was known for, but it was such good, clean fun. Most fun I ever had. The guys, 17,000 of them all spread out over the muddy grounds and the snowy hills, and they all liked me so much. I was great. Funny. I knew it was going to be like that. And on the plane across the Pacific, I didn't take a single pill. Drank tea in a cup. Still don't know what came over me. Gee, I wish I could have felt like that when I was making movies. You can check it out on your YouTubes if you don't believe me. I told the guys, this is my first experience with a live audience. I mean, I really felt like I belonged, you know? Finally found a home. In South Korea, of all places. I mean, all these people liking me and accepting me into their hearts. Gee, I knew I was home. I told them you've been the best thing that's ever happened to me, fellas. And as I got into the chopper, and we took off in the snow, that gorgeous, beautiful snow, 17,000 soldiers. No, 17,000 gentlemen, all doffed their 17,000 caps to me. And I never felt like such a lady again.
This wasn't an obligation she had to fulfill, and it wasn't a self-promotion. Of all the performers who came to us in Korea, there were half a dozen or so, she was the best. She showed no nervousness and wasn't anything like a dumb blonde. When a few of us photographers were allowed to climb up on the stage after her show, she was very pleasant and cooperative, and we were all clicking our cameras, taking pictures up close of Miss Marilyn Monroe. Up close. And there was this one guy, most nervous of us all, you know, and she looks down at him and she says very quietly,
"Don't forget to take your lens cap off, soldier."
She made thousands of us GIs feel like she really cared about us. It was god-awful cold as hell, but she was in no hurry to leave. Marilyn Monroe was a great entertainer.
Oh, that's got to be my favorite story about the gal I used to be. Then, one day, I opened up his diary, and there it was. He was always afraid I'd embarrass him in front of his super intellectual friends. He was ashamed of me. Well, that was when I stopped loving Arthur Miller. The love just shriveled up like a dead thing inside of me. All the trust was gone. Oh, I learned then that a man with a Pulitzer Prize was just another man. And I was just another prize. In the end, love is blonde. Oh, never shall a young man thrown into despair love me for myself alone and not my yellow hair. That's not very nice. But still, my most passionate dream is to be Doris Day. The 40s and 50s Doris. I mean, you can kind of see it, can't you? Oh, I think her real name was something like Kapelhoff. Oh, is that Jewish? Well, I would have converted just to be her best friend. Oh, you know I did convert for Arthur. Oh, I guess I just have a thing for Jewish boys. Pass him over, he's the boy for me. Pass him over, he's the boy for me. Oh, to be with that boy, I'd do what know it wasn't your decision, but I just love your circumcision. I knew him as Mr. Sanders. I was Miss Nobody, and he was George Sanders. He was so nice to me.
She was very inquiring and very unsure. She wanted people to like her, and her conversation had unexpected depths, which was, to say the least, disconcerting. In her presence, it was hard to concentrate.
Mr. Sanders. He knew all about Eve and all about me. No, but he was much gentler with me than his character, the vitriolic Addison DeWitt, had been with Eve.
I have the clear impression that Miss Monroe will be an enormous success because, like Eve, she so obviously needs to be a star.
It was defensive fatigue that killed him. Probably me too. Oh, I learned all about that in analysis and reading Rilke and the Copacabana School of Dramatic Arts. That when you're that bored, you just blocked all the hell. I mean, something wants out, but your mind just won't let it. And well, it takes a lot of energy to be always on the defensive like that. And something wants out, but you just have no idea what it is, you know? I mean, he probably just got tired of playing George Sanders. I mean, how much longer was I going to play Marilyn Monroe and get away with it? I mean, I was pushing it at 36 when I mixed too many bennies and champagne that smoggy night. I kept seeing the charming Miss Caswell. What's the big-eyed Jew standing there and staring at me, Uncle Lon? Suddenly turning into Margot. Bill's in love with Margot Channing. But in 10 years, Margot Channing will have ceased to exist. And what's left will be what? What happens in the next reel, Bill? Do I get dragged screaming off to the snake pit? Like my mother? God, breathe the air. Oh, Joey. I'm sorry. Well, that's why I chose this next song after I lost my baby that September.